We're on the air.
Okay. I hear you loud and clear, Tom.
Okay.
Steve, California.
Hi, Steve. You're on Skype?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's working good.
I can see you lighting up when you talk.
And whoever the woman was in L.A., welcome to California. I've been here all my life. I'm up in Northern California.
Steve, right? It's Gita.
Yeah.
Gita.
Yeah.
Which one are you on Skype anyway?
Steven.
Steven.
I don't see you on the Skype. Is that the joint conference one, or is it just yours? Because it might be different.
No, it's joint conference. It's the one Thomas is on.
Right, but he came in on the other call too, I think.
Oh,
on our other group.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I like it here. I told my hubby I don't want to move. I like it here. So we'll see.
Yeah, I miss it. If I go to another state, I'm glad to come back. Except Alaska. Alaska's pretty nice in the summertime.
You've been there then?
Yeah, Hawaii's nice all the time, but California's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, hummingbirds in February, you know, flowers. Love it. And all our friends that we've met here, they tell us about all the earthquakes that they've lived through. I think I've only had a few tremors that I felt here. Nothing big. And my sister's been here for 30 years, so that's cool.
I stayed down in Huntington Beach and Corona Del Mar for a while, and it was pretty nice.
Oh,
but LA's a little too busy. Yeah.
Yeah, I did some work on Huntington Beach. I like it out there. But even Venice, it's a little raw, but I like it there. It reminds me of a little bit of New York. But it's nice. Thomas?
Yep.
Have you done anything? Because I've been filling out the 1099-Cs, like a mock-up. So I can ask Patrick some questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was doing my research on CFOs today. That was kind of a drag.
I saw the thing you posted on Skype. That's great. I copied it for the CFO of Wells Fargo. And I've been doing the CFO for the USPS, too. I think he's a good person to send stuff to.
Okay. It was interesting. The CFO for Wells Fargo, they're basically hiding. I don't think they expected me to be able to get the zip code and all that.
Yeah, you got it.
It turns out in my Googling, I found that a whole bunch of people went to his house in San Marino and protested for a couple of days.
Oh.
So I can imagine why he's hiding.
Yeah, a bunch of crooks.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I have for my my credit card. I'm going to do that to the Timothy Sloan. I'm going to send it to him with his zip code, the one you posted. And I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do a lunch money one. I'm going to do 2 of them.
Yeah, those are the 2 I'm doing first, and then I have some other things I want to do.
Yeah, I think doing these forms are not going to be, detrimental to us. Like, not like the OID where people get put in jail and stuff.
Right.
I think, I really don't care. I'm just going to do it. But I just want to make sure I do it correctly.
We saw the comment on the Skype group today from a couple of people in the UK who it surprised me. They've actually been accessing the IRS.
With the OID?
No, yeah, they did it with the OID, but I would think that it would be cleaner to do with the 1099-Cs.
Well, it says here on the Skype, it says they did it via the 1099-A and the OID. So it wasn't a loan. Yeah, they did it with the other documents. But I think the 1041 is it's good. I've been looking at it, too, and filling it out, mock filling it out. So when Patrick comes on, Hopefully he wouldn't hit me with
I
a
think it's
2x4.
also the other thing that Patrick mentioned, as we're discussing things on the Skype group, we should go back and post our conclusions on the other group to bring people up to speed with what we're achieving.
Before we what?
We should when we figure things out and come to conclusion, we should be telling people on the Yahoo group what we're doing, because we shouldn't be abandoning the Yahoo group, but by doing the private study group, we can concentrate, because we're not bringing up all these side issues, but still we need to bring other people along, and the way I see it is, when they get a certain amount of interest, then we can do the detail and the private stuff on the Skype group, but still let people know the general progress of what we're doing.
Right, what forms we're using and
yeah,
how to use it.
And it'd be good if more than just me did it, so that they understand that a whole bunch of people are doing it.
Yeah, I think it's,
not just one or two people. So far it's been just one, and that's Patrick.
I know. He's the Lone Ranger. All right, let's see. Yeah, I've been doing I want to do the lunch money too. So I've been putting on the account on the 1099-C my naturalization identification number, and then on the debtors box I've been putting my EIN estate number. So I wanted to ask Patrick if that's the correct format.
Did you try to contact the INS to see if you can get a certificate of birth data?
No, I have a copy, but not the original, and it's from the islands.
Yeah, I gather from what I saw that elsewhere, and it made sense to me that if you can get a certificate of birth data from the INS, I think what you'd really be getting there is they're acknowledging that they're accepting that birth data.
Interesting, because the naturalization is a beautiful document on bond paper. I mean, it has all the information,
including your birth
numbers.
data, including all your birth data.
Oh, I have to look at it again. Yeah, where I was from. I was born in Trinidad. Came here at 11, when I was 11.
Okay.
And I got naturalized in 1976.
I was thinking
that's a bicentennial year.
Yeah, right. I was thinking that if you could get that certificate, you could send it in along with the naturalization paper, just to cover the bases.
Oh, I mean, make a copy and send it in when I do these forms?
Yeah.
Good. I'll check it out.
Yeah, we should discuss with Patrick. I would suspect that on our first submissions we send in more than we will on later submissions. We send in stuff basically declaring our status.
I only have two things that I'm going to work on and send in: my credit card and just lunch money, and then I'll do my mom. I'll try to help my mom with her stuff.
Right.
I don't want to mess with her stuff.
I'm sure once we have success, we'll think of other uses that we want to put it to.
Have you guys finished the Form 56s?
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
I said, have you guys finished filling in the Form 56s and 56Fs?
Yes, I did that quite a while ago, but I have to go back and update it, as Patrick mentioned last night.
I haven't sent it in.
And the key thing is that we need to make sure that the first three lines of name, address, and place are exactly put in exactly on the way that we got the confirmation of the EIN number.
Yeah.
Because they make that point in the confirmation letter that whenever we use it, it has to be exactly that.
Doing the 56s, what role does that play with the EIN? Do you know?
Well, read what 56 is. It basically gives you authority to be a fiduciary, to tap the accounts.
is the fiduciary the person who is like a trustee? Because I was looking up the word fiduciary, and it's got a pretty broad spectrum. I'm looking for my 56.
I would try it in Anderson's. I haven't looked it up because I've seen it so many places before.
Yeah,
Basically,
I don't want to have to.
You're the person given the trust to manage the money.
And then the W-8 would exempt you from any taxes.
Yes.
So you're kind of covering all the bases. Yeah,
well, what a lot of people are having issues with, or some people are having issues with, is that they didn't have their fiduciary appointment with the Form 56s, and they were getting letters back from the IRS removing the estate from them. Because I guess whatever appointed fiduciary they have, the state has, by default, was going in and auditing these estate accounts and sending, canceling whatever EIN that the individual sought to seek with the SS4, acquire with the SS4.
Right.
You mean they were taking back their EIN estate?
Yeah.
So by doing the 56, you're basically securing it.
Right.
Well, yeah. There's also a point at the bottom where it says it's Part 4. It's a revocation or termination of notice. In other words, it shows evidence of termination or revocation of fiduciary authority. And I think on one of Patrick's old Form 56s, he checked box 6 and said all other fiduciaries are hereby terminated.
Right. It's both both an appointment form and a termination form.
So the 56 box 6 was checked because it says here. Oh, okay, I got the form in front of me.
Yeah, get rid of everybody else.
Yeah, so that's important to check that box 6 on the 56.
Yeah.
Well, that's 56F. I'm looking at 56F on Part 4.
Oh, hold on. 56F Part 4?
Yeah. It's box C.
ABC, other evidence of termination of fiduciary relationship, and then you have to describe.
Oh, yeah, I think I don't recall exactly how he worded it, but I think he said something, all other presumed fiduciaries are hereby terminated, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't, the one I printed out doesn't have that checked with anything on it.
Yeah, this was an older Form 56 that he had as an example. He didn't include some things that he did in his older Form 56 templates.
Oh, okay. Well, let's.
Because he does a lot of changes in these forms as he advances in his understanding of how we're supposed to identify ourselves.
Yeah, I know. It's just keeping up with him is like having a 5-year-old. All right. Okay.
Okay, it's Patrick. I'm on the line now.
Hopefully he didn't hear that.
No, I'm still a 5-year-old.
Good.
I haven't grown up, okay? I'm still asking the questions why. And that's what a little 5-year-old's supposed to be doing, is asking the questions why is it like this. And basically, on one of your items there, if you have another document, you filled in what you feel is appropriate, and then you ask them the question. If this is not appropriate, explain to me what I need to do to make it correct. Like the account number for your naturalization paper. Now you ask them, okay?
Yeah, I will. Uh-huh.
And until you ask them, they ain't going to tell you. But I don't have all the answers, okay? But they should have the answers of what they're looking for when you submit it in. We're trying to fill them out appropriately for what we feel that we've got, okay? What instruments they gave us, what securities we registered with them, okay? And then we're putting a charge against them. We are the chancellor, okay? When we have claimed, when we've expressed our grant, and we see we're the natural, okay? And basically, they're the unnatural. The corporations, they're unnatural. They're like a dream. A dream is unnatural. It's imaginary. Okay? But in reality, life is natural. Okay? You're living it. Your dreams are only imaginary. See, that's everything that's out here. These governments are just imaginary. They're not really real in their endeavors. But a dream can kill you, okay? I don't know whether you guys know that or not, but basically, yeah, you panic in a dream and basically you can cause yourself to have a heart attack. Because you think it's so real, okay? And that's just like the government out here. You think it's so real. Yeah, they can kill you. But when you start taking the money away from them, then it starts shutting them down. They're just a bunch of vampires. And you start using the silver bullets to start killing them off. You come in and you cancel the debt, and you turn it into lawful money. Like I said last night, take a look at the dollar bill. It's got two seals on it. It's got a black seal and a green seal. You cancel the black seal, now it becomes a green seal dollar. One of the guys gave me a link to go into this guy's evangelist talk, and basically he was talking about the three levels of servants back in Joseph's time in Egypt. And basically that's what we have. We've got three levels of persons out here. One is the basic, which is the Social Security. The U.S. citizen employee as a customer. That's the lowest level. Then you have the mid-level, which is the U.S. trustee over your estate, and he's the collector. And then you have the level 3 to where you have expressed grant of your American inheritance or your earthly inheritance as a foreign grantor trust. And at that point in time, you become the chancellor. You are now the chancellor of the exchequer or of the exchange. You are the superior judge to make the ruling for the exchangement. Okay, so posted those up on those 1099 Cs, some of those Word documents, that the 1099 Cs, okay, we're supposed to, like I said last night, we were supposed to learn our A, B, Cs. And C's had the S behind it. So C stands for more than just one item. It's chancellor, collector, customer, creditor, canceling, whole bunch of C's, claim, credits. And then basically we come in and we fill these out and we cancel the debt. We cancel the unnatural and bring it into the natural world. Because they can only operate in the unnatural. They can't make a profit in the natural world because they're not putting any labor into it. When you put labor into something, you're putting labor into it, okay? And labor cannot be taxed. Okay, yeah, go ahead. What do you have?
Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I have a question. I know before we had talked about using the A for acquisition, and you said, you know, if you really knew how the documents work, you would use the A and you would never, you know, go to a settlement without an A. And I wanted you to just go a little bit more in detail with your understanding in regards to acquisition.
Well, basically, until you come out of the system and get your credits off to the side, okay, in the real world, you need to use the C's because everything they're holding is under debt in their world. So you have to cancel the debt that is over that credits that you have in the Treasury first. Then that turns it into lawful currency. Then you move that over into your account. Okay? Then at that point in time, when you buy something, you take it out of your account, you write a check out, and now you have lawful currency in your checking account, and now you fill out a 1099-A and purchase the item. Now you're reporting that income into the IRS so that the IRS will tax that corporation appropriately if they need to. But for the most part, we just use the 1099-Cs.
Okay, so so I can understand, you're saying, based upon your understanding, you use the C because not only are you canceling your debt, but the debt that exists even before it came to you.
Yes,
you're using,
the debt that they're holding.
Right,
now,
so you're using the C, and then you're using the A for the acquisition. Then when does the B come into existence? Is it always?
The B is where you have to go in and you have to broker your account. That's what you would send in a copy of the B into the Attorney General's office, ordering them to terminate your account and give you, it's like you have a share of stock at Walmart, okay? What do? You take that share of stock down to a stock broker, and he will go in and find out what the value of that is. If there's any extra items, he will broker it for you and give you back your lawful value.
And is that where the 1041 come into play? The reporting of...
you're getting things mixed up, okay?
Okay.
The 1099-C, you use that primarily with the 1041, okay, or the 1040, depending on which person you're dealing with. You've got three levels, okay? The Social Security person as the customer, or the U.S. citizen employee. You've got the level 2, which is the estate EIN, which is still held by the country. Okay, and that's as a U.S. trustee collector, and you're collecting from the estate. Then you have the level 3, which is the American nation foreign grantor trustee EIN, and that's where we will basically be the American chancellor of the land. The grantor. We granted our assets back to us. See, the government can't grant nothing, okay? They're unnatural. Only a natural can grant anything. So the 1099-B is just for brokering your securities, your Social Security account. That's a security document. Your certificate of title to your vehicle, that's a security document. Your driver's license, that's a security document. Your voter registration card, that's a security document. They've all got insurance policies written behind them, so they're securities. You have to go in and have the bonds closed down, the assets adjusted appropriately for the just compensation, the broker's fees taken out, and then the return, the residue, given back to you. That's what the 1099-B is all about. And then you go to a bar member, a broker. That's what the attorneys are. They're brokers for the bankers. That's why they were banned in this country for almost 100 years before they finally got their foot in the door. They used to be hung if they came into North Carolina and a couple of the other states because they didn't want the money changers to come in there because they knew the money changers would destroy the people and the land. They've done it numerous times throughout history. The pharaohs, the Jezebels, the jewelry, the Jews. Jew is not a religion. The Merchant of Venice. Okay? They were the money changers. The Duke in the Merchant of Venice is the exchequer or the chancellor. That's what you are in America when you come of age at 25. You have the supreme authority to order up these 1099-Cs and cancel the debt. That's what this one evangelist down in Tennessee there, Cleveland, Tennessee, I think it was, basically was talking about the three levels. He doesn't know anything about the 1099-Cs as far as I can see, but they're all right here. So I sent the information down to him, and I said, hey, you might look this over and apply it to your ministry or whatever and help the people, because you need to cancel the debt. That's what he was talking about, forgiveness. When you cancel the debt, you are forgiving something.
What was that story again?
Huh?
I said, where was that story? Like, what was it referring to in the Bible?
Story.
You said Joseph or something. You were talking about in Egypt, the evangelist. He was
Yeah, he's out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Okay, and basically,
I mean, what was the story he was referencing from in the Bible?
He was talking about Joseph in the Bible. Okay, the different levels that he was in prison there in the Bible, and basically the correlation of what the standing that Joseph was in, the standing that the baker was in, and the standing that another servant was in. Okay, the three different levels of forgiveness of debt. Barry Stone Ministries. Okay, if you look it up, he's got some YouTube or something items out there, and you can listen to it. Okay.
And the link's on the group.
Yeah, I think Mike put the link up last week. For that one, talking about the three different levels. And he said it fit right into what I was talking about, the three levels here of using the 1099-C. And that's all we're doing. We've got to come in and we've got to cancel or forgive the debt. Or forget the dream, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's a bad dream. Get rid of it. Get on with your life.
That's right.
It's holding you back. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm hearing you talk about the Express Our Grant, and I understand what you're saying in terms of you saying it, but how do you do it? Because, what I'm trying to say is, what's the procedure for expressing your grant?
You basically go in and express that you need to have a foreign grantor trust.
No, I'm saying if I already have my 98, how do I express it then?
You've already expressed it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, to get that 98 number, you had to have gone and expressed that you needed it.
Okay. Wow.
That's all it is. When you express something, you are saying, I need this.
The King's Witch.
And that's why you call them up on the phone. You're expressing yourself to them.
Oh, and for everybody that's listening, that's exactly how I got mine. Just how Patrick is explaining in the sense of expressing it. Because at first they was going to tell me I couldn't get it, and the fax this in, the fax that in. But when I
you have to express yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like they tell you in school, you have to express yourself.
So it's on the. Yeah.
And see, there's a couple things out here that use the word express. One is the direct express account. That's what tied in with the Treasury. It's got the word express in it. Okay? And basically, when you get into that, you can put lawful money into that Direct Express account, and it's just a debit account. You put the credits into that account, and then you take them out. There's another one in here that basically is out there. You go and get a American Express account. Okay? A checking account with American Express. Non-interest bearing. You do not accept the $250,000 FDIC out there. You don't want any insurance. Okay? You put a coffee can in the backyard for your holdings that you want to have direct access to, but you can have a or an American Express out there to deal with commerce. That way, if the bank or American Express goes down, which I don't think they will, part of it might, but you would stand as a creditor in the process, and you would be first in line.
What would we provide for, we use our driver's license for identification when opening up that account?
Whatever, your IRS forms. Your IRS forms.
The W-8?
Your treasury check. You bring in $1 million. Shit, they're probably going to open it up for you right there. You've got a treasury check. The treasury's acknowledging you.
Okay.
You go down and get a set of fingerprints as the living individual. You take a copy of your birth certificate in. Whatever it takes. You don't need a driver's license. That picture on the driver's license is not you. It was you maybe 6 months ago, maybe. Or it's some phony guy that sort of looks like you. That is no real proof.
True.
Yeah. But see, everybody thinks it's real proof, and it's not necessarily real proof. Your handprint or your fingerprints are the real proof that you are who you are.
Well, I have a couple of questions about the 1041, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
Me too.
I was looking at the form and coming down to let me see, getting it up right here. There we go. This is in the section with deductions. It's line 20, and it says exemption.
Can you give the field name too, please?
The field name is deductions, and it's line 20.
Okay.
Says exemption. Is that pertaining any way to us as the exempt American Executor?
I basically looked at it and basically went down through it, and I said everything on there is zero all the way down to line 24E.
Mm-hmm.
You put in the value that you are claiming in line 7 on the 1099-Cs.
Yes.
Then you put that in block 25 and 28 and 29. You're done.
And then where it says in the signature part, do we put Say it again.
You sign it and date it.
Yes,
you
but
put
it says that
your W-8 form with it.
There's a bar there that asks for the EIN of fiduciary. Would we put in the EIN for the estate there, or we just leave that blank?
What does the line say?
It says if a financial institution.
If financial institution. Okay? You're the fiduciary up above. You've already put your EIN on there.
Okay, I see.
Okay? This is for somebody else that is filing this in, like an attorney.
I got you. Now coming down to the last part where it says other information, I had a question on number 3 and number 4.
Everything was 0 and everything was no.
Everything was no?
That's what I put in there. You make up your own mind.
Well, it's interesting because I looked at it. Number 4 had a similar question from the 1040 Schedule B. And the other information, it said, during the tax year, did the estate or trust receive a distribution from, or was it the grantor of, or transfer to a foreign trust? If yes, the estate or trust may have to file Form 3520. So interestingly enough, it actually connected it to the 3520, which,
right.
I mean,
They're
I would
trying to
see
get
as
you back into their system, okay? You canceled the debt, okay? Now you're not in their system. You're dealing only as a tariff tax collector coming in to collect your credits.
Okay.
Do we need to fill out those others? No, I don't. I say no. You fill out those others, and you're giving them credence that you are under their control. You're not standing as the American individual, the natural. You're standing as an unnatural.
It's amazing how tricky these forms are. They keep trying to pull you back in all the time.
Yes. That's their game. You're standing too close, just like in the movie. Now you see me, the magician. He says right off the bat, come in closer. Because the closer you come in, the less you see. You don't have the peripheral vision any longer. You're concentrating on what is right in front of you. You've got to back up and get the peripheral vision and see the big picture.
Well, I was looking at the line 4 because on the 1040, the Schedule B, that was the I guess the door out to acquire the foreign grantor trust. I guess that was the route that you took. And then I looked at this 1041 and it has the same wording for the Schedule B on line 4. So I was like, all right, so is this a means for you to now take the estate and acquire express the grant in a 3520 or 3520A to get the EIN for the foreign grantor's trust?
Okay. We simplified that all the way down, okay? We told you, all you have to do is call up on the phone for the foreign grantor trust. You don't need to do the 3520 and the 3520A. Pick the damn phone up and call them. Express yourself to them that you need that account, that you are of age 25 and that you are an American citizen. You're not a United States citizen. I am foreign to the city, the state, and the country. I am a man with no country.
Correct.
Now, what do they want you to say? They want you to express a country. A country is just like a church. It is not what is in the Bible. What is in the Bible is nation. A country is a corporation. A church is a corporation. They are unnatural entities.
If anybody wants to figure that out a little bit better, they could go on to that servantking.info website and go to the Unraveled programs number 5 that says, "Oh my God." That's the title of it. And you can hear all about the difference between that country and the church and all that kind of stuff. It's really clear.
Yeah, they're just corporations. They're fictional. They're unnatural. But the nation is the land. It's that simple. Don't confuse or muddle up the waters. They try and do it all the time, though. And then you sit there and listen to them, just like you go to church and you listen to some damn minister, and he just muddles up the damn waters in your mind, thinking that he's going to save you. He's going to get you to fucking heaven. There's not one church that's ever gotten anybody into heaven.
Another good way to understand
the church.
Another good way to understand it is to try to look at the word country, which is like count, C-O-U-N-T, and accounting and county. They're all counting people in their country. A nation, we're a nation. A nation is a people. But a county is basically...
And Count Dracula.
Yeah, as a nation, you operate under treaty law between the nations.
We're getting a lot of feedback building up here. If you're not speaking, can you do *6 and mute yourself out? And then when you want to come back in, just do *6 again, and you can come back in. Thank you.
You know, sometimes that comes about when you have your speakerphone on.
Yes.
But
it's much better now.
Yeah, we just got to come about, and we just got to realize you don't. There's very few things that really apply to us on these forums. And like I said, when you do the 1040, you only put on there, like on the 1040 form, you go all the way down until where it says what was withheld for the 1099s. What the hell is that? Line 61, federal income tax withheld from forms W-2 and 1099. Everything else is going to be zero. You have no income when you cancel the debt. You have labor payments that you're getting. Income is only when it is debt money. So if you canceled the debt, everything else is zero. And then you're just coming back in to claim what they have withheld from you, the lawful credits, as debt-free money. You want lawful currency? This is how you get it. When you cancel the debt, you're canceling the inflation at the same time. Now, they're the ones that are going to have to pay the income tax on that because you've reported them now to the IRS. That's the key thing, is we had to report who was the ones that were getting the income. So when you put down that court, when you put down that utility company as the debtor on the 1099-C, you are saying that they are the ones that have the income. Now they have to pay the income tax, not us. Because you do, in the law, you do not pay taxes upon your labor. And when we are converting this into lawful payments of real value, you cannot tax lawful money. You cannot tax labor. But you've got to get into that situation, and that's what you do by canceling the debt, forgiving the sin.
I think the income tax is really income tax is a tax on the gain of the user.
It's a tariff tax on the foreign product that is coming in from the Federal Reserve System, the usage of bonds and insurance.
Yeah, the usury tax.
Yes.
You don't have usury tax in labor.
No.
So you only have
You're getting just payments.
Like a capital gain on the gain of using something.
And see, that's where all these people that have gone into court and everything, they're arguing something right, but they haven't canceled the debt behind their payments. You have to forgive the debt. And if you don't forgive the debt, you're going to jail. Just like back in Moses or in Joseph's time. Just like what Jesus said about the guy that refused, the servant that refused to cancel the debt from one of his fellow servants. The master forgave him his debt, but he refused to cancel the debt for somebody else. So basically the master came back upon him and threw him back in jail, say, you will now pay the debt. And see, that's all we have to do. We're the ones that have the authority to cancel the debt. But if you refuse to cancel it, then basically you're guilty.
Yeah, that's the sin.
Yeah.
Is there any way to go back, contact with the IRS to acquire previous filings you have done for, say, for example, income tax returns 1040s that you have filed from the past?
You try and get your footing established, okay, of doing some of these things right now, okay? Then when they see that you're trying, they might come in because they have access to all the accounts, and then at that point in time, when you do the 1099-B with the Justice Department, any item that is out there should be brought into settlement. They've got the accounting books. The Secret Service is the agency that is over the enterprise financial management system. Just like in the movie Die Hard with a Vengeance. Woodlawn has all the Social Security accounts, all the financial accounts in a big computer system sitting there in Woodlawn, Maryland. They can access those accounts and settle the books. But you have to make the initiative to try and understand it and show them that you understand it and say, yeah, I could sit here the rest of my life trying to bring about closure of everything that I've done over my past life. Or basically, you can basically go into the computer and flip a couple switches and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, it's done and over with. Don't worry about the small things. They will take care of themselves. You just have to get started and start putting the items in. Get the recognition.
Patrick.
Yes.
On the 1041 on line A, where it asks is all data apply, and I have my 98, I should only be putting a granite type trust in there then. It's not complex, it's not simple, it's not deceiting. Ain't no ESBT popping off. Yeah, it should just be granite type then. They had I was reading something about the type on here, and it said you have to tell them what kind of trust it is. I mean, am I calling it a foreign grantor trust? Because when
you just say grantor type trust.
Okay.
That's all. It's a grantor type trust. It says foreign grantor type trust, so it's a grantor type trust.
I was reading the instructions for this today,
Okay.
and I was reading the instructions for the 1041 today, and it says for the grantor type trust, all they do is fill out the header information, and then they don't fill out the rest of the form. They just send in kind of like a small statement of accounting.
Yeah, all you need to do is put down what you want back.
Okay.
Yeah, 24E, 25, let me see, 25, 28, and 29. Everything else would be 0 or no.
Okay.
Federal income tax withheld. If any is from, and basically that is taxes withheld, that they've withheld from you, but you're canceling the debt, so now it's not income tax, it's tariff tax that has been withheld from you. And you're the tariff tax collector, as you are from America, and they are from a foreign corporation or a foreign country.
Well, I have not yet acquired my foreign grantor trust EIN, so I'm utilizing my estate at this point in time. Is there a limitation for what I can withdraw from that with the 1099-C, the cancellation of debt?
No. Does it say there's any limitation? But just don't get too carried away on the, normally they will send out a treasury check up to $1 million. Anything over $1 million, they want you to fill out the 8302 form and have it as a direct deposit.
I see.
I mean, it says Anything over $1 million. Well, that must mean you can take out more than $1 million. Just don't make it $1 billion, okay? Try and be reasonable until you establish yourself, and then let them broker the account and find out how much is really in there.
Got you. I'm just trying to get something out so I can, go ahead and quit this job I'm working with so I can focus on establishing this and dedicate more time into it, because I'm short in time. I'm catching it here and there as I have breaks from, my job, but it's difficult to find time.
Okay. I tried to go over a couple of scenarios last night on doing the 1099-C. Okay. On the 1099-C, you have up there, and you could write this down. Line 2 is the amount of debt that you're discharging. Line 3 is going to be the service or pay value you received. That's what the interest is. What is the service or pay value that you have received from the debt that you're discharging? Now you subtract line 3 from line 2, and if it's 0, then it's a wash. So you get a bill from a utility company for $155, and the service value is $155. It's a wash. It's 0. So there's nothing to put in block 7. But now, if the amount of debt that you're canceling is like $250, and the service fee is $155, then basically you're going to have down in block 7 $95 to be returned to you. It's all coming out of your account anyway, okay? The credits.
So in the case with with the withdrawal from the estate, where pretty much the estate person is the debtor in the 1099-C, and you would put 0 in block 3. How do you based upon what you just said?
You would put down, okay, if you're doing the estate is going to be the creditor. Okay? The debtor will either be your Social Security person or your certificate of live birth person.
Okay.
The instrument that is holding your assets. They are the debtor to that estate.
Okay.
Okay? You got to think about this. I mean, if just because you don't have a trust doesn't mean you can't make it work.
So the way you had, I'm looking at the example that you had here, and you had it set up where the American exempt PEO was the creditor, and then the debtor was the Patrick Devine estate care of the U.S. Department of Treasury.
Right. Yeah. See, that is where I have my foreign grantor trust.
Okay, so you're operating with that capacity.
Yes. See, that's the last level, the highest level, to where you have the foreign grantor trust over the estate. But if you don't have the foreign grantor trust yet, you move the estate up to being the creditor over the sub-accounts.
Okay, that makes sense now. Got you. I acknowledge that. Thank you very much.
Like if you don't even have, well, take it if you don't have the estate EIN. What are you going to use as the creditor? you're going to use your Social Security person over the individual account for the driver's license or for the certificate of title to the vehicle or for the property tax. The Social Security person can now be the guy over those accounts to cancel the debt. See, you've got 3 levels of being creditor. That's what I tried to put up there on that 3 levels of creditor. And then if you're doing the Social Security one, you need to use the 1040 and the 1040X forms. You can only submit one 1040 a year, but if you need to amend it on a monthly basis or whatever, you do the 1040X to claim the return.
And if you use your Social Security, would you just use the Social Security number as the account number
up on the 1040? Yeah.
Okay, and would you use that on the 1099-C?
No, you're putting down the creditor's postal depository number.
Oh, okay.
But down below the account number, you would reference your Social Security and basically what security you're going against. The account with the utility company, the account with the treasurer for the property taxes, whatever.
What if you're doing $1 million? What would you reference?
You're not going to do $1 million in this regard. Okay?
Oh, okay.
As the Social Security person, you can only set off the servant's fees. Okay?
Okay.
Asking is in pertaining to the estate, like what would you reference at the account in that position?
What's that?
I said I think what she was trying to express was that what would you reference in terms of the estate as being the creditor at the account number position at the bottom for a withdrawal of $1 million?
Well, you could put it. I would put down the certificate of live birth. That's where your real assets are being held, is under certificate of live birth.
Okay.
Usury assets are being held in the Social Security account. Okay, that's the one that has a lot of the bonds and everything written against it. That the certificate of live birth account only has liens written against it. Okay.
And you would put that in there with X's and then just have the last 4 after the X's.
That's what I would do and basically call it out. Yeah.
The certificate of live birth.
Yeah, or your naturalization document, whatever, okay?
All right.
Then ask them, if this is not correct, please contact me.
Okay.
The 3 levels of creditor is kind of like the body, mind, and spirit. So the body would be the Social Security person. The mind would be like the estate.
No, don't muddle the waters, please. Don't muddle the waters, okay? People are confused enough out here, okay? Okay? People are confused enough. If that's the way you believe it, you can believe that. But don't muddle the waters with the religious connotations out here in understanding this. Okay? Please.
Now, do we submit all the paperwork too with computations and Excel spreadsheets too? I mean, or was that something that we did before?
That is what you can basically, when you send those, the B copies back to the debtor.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The only thing that I would send into the IRS along with this, may be a copy of the B copies of the 1099-Cs or the A copy. They don't really need to have it because you're sending the A copies into the IRS, and the faster you get those A copies in, the faster it should flag them to release those funds.
Is it necessary to send a B copy into Wells Fargo if we're going to do the C?
Yes, you have to send the B copy to the debtor.
So they get a warning?
They need to adjust their books, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Okay, then you need to send them the B copy.
Okay. Do we have to endorse the back of, say, the lighting bill or the credit card bill?
Yes, I would endorse the back of it and put down the account that basically you're endorsing this for. You're sending it off, and you're endorsing this as a set-off payment. And then give them the 1099-C that you are canceling the debt. They're the debtor.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also canceling the debt so that they have to remove the bonds off the books. And then if the bonds, instead of them writing the bonds to make the payment, you're giving them the credits out of your account to make the payment instead of out of your back pocket.
So
you're keeping them from causing inflation in the country.
Yeah, that's good. So I would have to put my EIN or my naturalization number on the back as the account.
Well, or basically you just cancel it in the name of this account, okay?
Right, depending on the account, yeah.
Yeah, under your Social Security number, okay? They've got your Social Security number because you had to sign up to get that account. You had to give them your Social Security number.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Concerning the 1099-Cs. And this is just a hypothetical, just by looking at the forms. There's 3 of them per page. So shouldn't I be able to I'm just talking about this, shouldn't I be able to put $1 million per 1099-C per page? Like $3 million per page? If I decided that's going to be $1 million? Instead of sending them in like 1 and then the other 2 be blank?
You could do one this week, you'd do one next week, you'd do one the following week, and then send the A copy into the IRS. Okay? But you file a 1041 this week, a 1041 next week, and a 1041 the following week.
Okay, so I am going to do them separate then, instead of together.
Well, if that's what you want to do, okay?
Okay.
You basically have to stagger it.
I'm telling you right now, don't get fucking carried away.
I was just asking, man. I mean, because
most people are fucking idiots out here, and they don't know how to handle money anyway. And that's why they've got this system halfway set up this way, so that only when you fully understand and start operating in honor that you're come about this. I'm trying to help you. I probably should have kept my damn fucking mouth shut.
No, we
because
appreciate
a lot of
that.
people out here are not ready to handle this. That's what Jesus ran into. That's what Moses ran into. The Hebrews never were ready to fully understand this, even though he kept them out in the desert for 40 years. they still got back into the same damn scenario they were in Egypt. They didn't know how to handle money properly or their assets properly. They wanted a damn frying pan down at the commercial bank. They wanted to have an insurance policy out there, thinking they need to have some additional protection that's really a destructive force. Okay, I'm too bitching. What's your questions?
We had two people from the UK come through the Skype group. And I think one of them posted on the Yahoo group. They said they they have been accessing they're both UK, born in the UK and living in the UK, but they've been able to access the IRS with 1099 OIDs and a 1099A. Now, I told them that we don't do the 1099 OIDs, but I'm curious, can people in the Commonwealth access this system?
In a lot of cases, yeah, they can basically, but to get their foreign grant or trust, okay, just like in the definition that I posted up there about light, okay, in England, this doctrine is still recognized, the right arising by prescription from the king or queen, or from an expressed or implied grant. And see, they have a king and a queen, or a king over there in England. They have to go to them to get their expressed or implied grant. They express it to the queen, then they can get their lawful access to their land, okay, to their assets from the land that the sun's rays shine upon. Read that document that I posted up there about light. It comes right out of Anderson's dictionary, but I put some clarification in there because people can't read between the lines.
Now,
see, here in this country, we don't have a king or queen. We are the prince of the land. So we come in and we express our princely rights. Okay, go ahead.
When we do that, do we need additional paperwork besides the 1099s and the 1040s or 1041s? I gather that we should send in the invoices endorsed on the back to make them bills of exchange. Should we be sending in this affidavit of treason also each time, or just the first time?
No, you don't even have to send that in to the IRS, okay?
But to the for the copy B, do they need anything more?
You send them the endorsed copy and of the bill.
Okay. And correct.
And basically, if you want to, you can send them a copy of the W-8. But
okay.
They shouldn't need to have that. But I give them a copy of the W-8. Send a copy of your IRS in with the copy of your W-8 the first time or whatever you send that in. Now, the Form 56s, you had to file those, especially the Form 56F had to be filed with Austin, with the IRS office in Austin, Texas. The straight Form 56 had to be filed to where you submit your taxes. Ogden, Utah, or Cincinnati, normally. Read the instructions. They're right there, okay?
Someone on the Skype group today said that if you don't file the 56s, they will end up after a year revoking your EIN, that you really need the 56s to keep the EIN in place.
Yes, you need to have those on file with the IRS.
Right. Okay.
Especially the Form 56F. You need to have that on file with the Austin office, and see, then it's in the computer database. Then when you submit your forms in, you're now coming in, and see, you're coming in as with that 1099-C as a financial institution in one regards, because that is the postal depository bank routing number that you have for the creditor. Okay?
So it's our postal depository that gives us the authority to be a financial institution.
Yes, you are a banker for the depository. That
okay.
That postal, that zip code with the 4 digits is a ABA, postal ABA bank routing number.
Hey, Patrick, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I sent both of my 56s and 56F off back in like August, and I got a letter back from the IRS about the 56F saying that they couldn't process it because I wasn't a financial institution.
Well, you need to come back in and straighten them out.
When you send it
say,
in,
hey, I've got a postal depository account here, so I've got to be a damn bank. If I have a depository, I must be a bank. I'm holding assets. I receive money into my bank every day. They tried this with George out in Seattle. They tried to cancel his EIN. He called up and chewed him out. Basically, they backed down. You have to show that you're alive. If you don't show that you're alive, you must be dead, and they'll take it away from you.
Is it possibly that I could have done something wrong on my 56s to make them deny?
There could be. Take a look at them.
Yeah,
think them through. Okay? Think them through. I can't tell you all the answers anymore, okay? I've told you as much as I can.
I guess
everybody is a little different. I don't see how you're filling the forms out, and I don't want to see how you're filling the forms out. I'm not the school teacher. I'm not going to grade you. Because I'm not getting paid to grade you.
So I guess when he talks to them, he has to point out to them that the 56, his 9-digit zip code, is his
He
bank routing
has to
number.
look at his forms and find out, did I do something wrong first, and then call them up and explain to them that basically, as far as I know, everything is right, and that this is to stand as it is. Okay? Don't put words into the flail, Tom, please.
Okay.
I do have a quick question with the Form 56F. For the fiduciaries the address of the fiduciary, and that would be block 11 and 12. We would put care of and without there, correct?
For the fiduciary's address, yes. Without a country, without a city, without a state. And you are getting your mail.
Now what about with the zip code?
Huh?
Would we set up, because we still utilizing the depository, postal depository zip code and plus 4 digits.
Yes, you're still receiving your mail care of that address.
Okay.
But you, as the living individual, are a man without a country, a Nathan Hales. You are not a corporate entity. You're not a church entity, a fiction. And that's what a city, a state, and a country citizen is a fictionary person. The nation person is an American citizen, is a natural, a native, one from the land. And see, in some cases, you just have to become the squeaky wheel. Then you get the grease. But unless you start squeaking, they ain't going to give you what you want. But you don't get too belligerent with them unless you are able to handle it. And they all know me, so basically I can get away with it half the time.
They probably enjoy talking with you after a while.
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? Yes, Patrick,
Yeah.
I was just wondering what your success rate was as far as any credit, getting any credits back or funds or however you refer to it, or debt discharged, or what has been, in your experience, what has been your success rate?
Repeat that again.
I was just wondering about the success rate of the process as far as getting any funds or credits or...
I haven't gotten anything back out of these guys yet. I know that I basically had some hospital bills canceled about 3 years ago, okay? But I never got confirmation on that. I've done several other items off of it to try and cancel some debt. But see, back in about 4 years ago, when I was trying to do the 1099-Cs, I was going after the Federal Reserve banking system. Okay, that was the wrong place. We should have been going after the Treasury and some of this, and after our own accounts, our debtors, our bankrupts, who is holding our assets, and cancel their debt that they owe to us. Okay? And like the utility companies, that's what we should have been going after, was for the tax people, the IRS, and cancel the debt with them. Set it off, and then claim that back. That basically now it's not income any longer. It's lawful currency, and basically we have a right to claim our credits because it was not income to begin with. So I had the right thought process, but I was filling the forms out wrong 3-4 years ago, okay? But nobody else out here is talking about utilizing these things the right way. And this is all right out of the Bible, okay? We got more references out here showing this in the Bible that this is what has to be done. You have to cancel the debt, forgive the debt. To get your reward.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Patrick, you're supposed to talk about something different tonight, even though you've been referencing the last two calls. I can't tell you what it was because I didn't attend last night's call. I just wanted to put a reminder out there.
Well, what I was going to try and basically go over was some of the different, but I went over a couple of them last night with your labor, with your W-2 form, and told you how you need to go in, and when you're canceling the debt, you need to add, you have your W-2 saying this is how much you made this year with this company, but you have to take and add up the Social Security and Medicare and then add that once again to that salary that you got because the company is making a payment on your behalf in the background. So now instead of like $50,000 that you got paid for the year, it's going to be $53,000 to cover the $3,000 that the company paid in on their behalf of the Social Security and Medicare payments. So that's what the amount of debt that you cancel. Then when you cancel that debt, okay, now you've received $35,000 in paychecks, so you subtract that on line 3, and that would leave you now with $18,000 instead of $15,000 in block 7. You put that down on line 61 on your 1040 form. Everything else is pretty much zero except for your totals and the return that you're going to get. And then on the 1040 form, you have the bank routing number and everything to have it directly deposited in your account, your non-interest bearing checking account. The other one is like a credit card, okay? And this would be an example of they give you a credit limit of $20,000. That is what you would put down in block 2, how much ever you still have on the books that you owe them, okay? That's services that you've gone out and gotten. So like say you have $8,000 in what they call bills outstanding. So you would subtract that $1,000 from the $20,000 and you would be claiming the credits for $19,000 back from them. You're going to close down that credit card. They have to collapse all the bonds that they have written behind that. And then they have to pay the income on that amount that they have left over, the residue that they're holding in their account. And they also have to pay the income tax on the $1,000 that they obtained because that was income into them. See, they're the ones that owe the income taxes. They're the users of our assets by way of the foreign Federal Reserve banking monetary system. And
so for
income
W-2,
tax is a tariff tax.
So with the W-2, say for from the employer, would you have to go through and cancel all the individual debt also for the city, state, and county?
You would have to do a 1099-C, and basically if they're withholding those assets, yes.
Okay.
If the city is holding taxes from you, okay, then you're going to have to cancel that debt and claim that back.
So the B copy goes to wherever the tax is, and tax is taken out and returned to you.
Yes.
So if it's a state tax, it goes to the B copy goes to the state. If it's a federal tax, the B copy goes to the federal.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And if you go to the Dipsy dumpsters, Target would get all of those receipts.
Yep.
All those receipts?
Yeah, in the Dipsy dumpsters.
Yeah. Go collect them all and then basically add them all up, put them on an Excel spreadsheet. You endorse the back of each one of those receipts and put them with your Excel spreadsheet. Do a 1099-C, send that into the chief financial officer, and cancel that amount of debt, and then claim that back as credits that are due back to you. Because basically they've been writing bonds out there against that, so you have the right to the credits back. They have to pay that in income tax now. Here's what the IRS been waiting for us to start reporting the ones that really owe the income tax.
Should we be reporting that with the 3949As to them?
No. You're reporting it with the 1099-C.
Ah, okay.
You're addressing them, that they're the debtor. You're not the debtor. They are.
Okay.
And the debtor has so much income. Now they have to basically pay the tariff taxes on that income.
Patrick, will you go briefly over one on a mortgage?
No. I'm going to let you figure that out for yourself. I went over it last night.
Listen to the call.
It's not that hard to figure this out. No, it really isn't. How much is the mortgage? How much principal and interest have you paid in? How much service or payment is left on that account? You need to take an accounting class, okay? I've tried to give you the basics understanding of accounting. I mean, if you can handle balancing your checkbook, you ought to be able to handle balancing one of these 1099-C. There's only 3 blocks on the damn thing.
Hey, Patrick?
Yeah.
When I send in the 1041 and the 1099-C for some lunch money, well, let me back up. The 1041 that I got from the IRS website is for the year 2012. I didn't see one for the year 2013.
They haven't got a 1041 form for 2013 up on their site yet.
So just go ahead and use the 2012?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, just fill out the information up the top of the form. You started right back on the 31st of December, 2012.
Okay.
Patrick.
Yeah.
I got a question next. I seen with you, I guess Tom put some new docs out there, and I was just noticing you got a 1099-V, which you already been told us not to, but it's made up different than the rest of them you got out there. So
well, the 1099-V, okay, we were trying to utilize that to get the assets back from the corporations, okay?
Okay.
Now, when we do the 1041, that is essentially the 1099-V to get those returns. So we don't need to do the 1099-V. Now, I did send into the Secretary of the Treasury a 1099-V when I sent a 1099-C to them, okay, putting them on the hot seat. That basically, it's a voucher, and basically they're now under obligation to make the payment for that settlement. But see, we don't need to do that with the companies. We will let the IRS go and do it when we put the 1099-Cs in.
Copy A.
Yeah. When the copy A goes in, and then when we fill out the request for the payment, they will be going after those individuals. But see, most all of it is coming out of our account. We're just moving the credits out of our account and canceling the debt that they've created, the fictional debt. And we're using real credits out of our accounts now to do the set-offs.
Well, I wasn't on the conference call last night, but I had an opportunity to check it out today, and I proposed a question, or I brought up pretty much something you were speaking about a while ago when you first were talking about the 1099-Cs and utilizing the 1040s and 41s for claiming back those returns. And you had mentioned at that particular time, I don't know if it's relevant now or not, but you had mentioned you didn't see it then when you had filed it, but you said that by utilizing the 1041V, it would make the processing for the 1041 faster.
Well, that's what we thought back 3 years ago, okay? We don't need to do it, okay? 1041Vs are only for a payment. Okay? And basically those 1041 are for payments to the Treasury. Now, if they can't handle this, when we give them the 1099-C and cancel the debt, and we put the 1040 in and say, hey, we want the return, it didn't say anything about filing a 1040V for a return. Only if you're making a payment to the Treasury. If you owe taxes, do you use the 1040V or the 1041V? Right?
Right. True.
Yeah, we thought that basically using a negative value would basically process it faster. That's what we were, some of the people were out there were saying, that never saw any proof of it. We tried that. We never got any results from that. But see, they weren't doing the 1099-Cs either.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick. Hey, this is Tracy. I have a question about this student loan. I'm looking at the loan was actually only for $10,000, and I see that they're trying to collect $16,000. Now, I heard that on the call you were saying in line 2 that the amount of debt discharged. So would that be the $16,000, and then the interest would be the $6,000 that they're trying to add on to it?
Well, basically, you could put in, the charge for the $10,000, and then you turn around and you can fill out 3949A into the IRS that basically they're operating under racketeering and trying to defraud America in the process. You could either do it for the full value and claim it back, set the whole thing off and make them pay the taxes on it. Okay? You have to look and see, basically just get rid of the damn thing and then turn it over to the IRS and file a charge in against them. Then if they find out that they've been operating in fraud, you will get at least 10%, if not more, of that payment that they get back from that company.
Okay, so basically this is done a little differently.
Yeah, just get it out of your hair, and then file the charge in using the 3949A. So you cancel the whole debt. Get it out of your hair, Get on with your life. And then file the charge in against them. Let the IRS go after them.
Okay, so I don't need to do a 1099-C then?
Yes, you need to do a 1099-C. Cancel the debt.
Okay, because you said the 3949A form, so...
You cancel the debt first, then you put a claim in that they are charging you more than what they should be charging you. So they're operating in racketeering and whatever other charge you want to bring against them. They're defrauding America.
Right, that's why I was asking in line 3 on the 1099-C if the interest went in that block. Because you said
No, that is the amount of services. Everybody's on the call right now. Take out a 1099-C and write this in block 3. Service or pay value received, not interest. It is interest that you've received, but it's service or pay value that you've received. Then you have the bill, the amount that you're canceling. So like on your utility bill, if it's $150, the bill is, you're canceling that amount of debt. You got $150 worth of services. It's a zero. It's a wash. 150 minus 150 equals 0. Simple accounting. Don't make this more complicated than it is.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Thanks, Patrick.
Okay.
Patrick?
Anybody else have problems with math class here?
Yeah, I got
counting.
a problem with my class, Patrick, because am I to understand completely that all we doing is 1099 A's and C's, and B's if you're trying to if you have your 98 series. That's it, and that's all.
Yeah, but you only do primarily the 98 or the 1099As if you're going to claim abandoned property that they have out there. You claim it away from them. But in most cases, you're going to be able to cover it all using the 1099C.
That's right.
Okay. But then if you acquire something, okay, down the road, you're going to want to inform that basically you've made a payment to a corporation. So now they have income coming in. Now, they can't give that income all over to their shareholders. They're going to have to pay income taxes. Take so much out of that, then they can give the rest that's left over to their shareholders. You start controlling these big conglomerates out here by taking and basically removing a bunch of the shareholders away from them. Yeah, if you don't like a product, if you don't like the cars that General Motors is producing, you're not going to buy the shares of stock in General Motors. So their value of their shares of stock is going to decrease. That's how you start controlling the corporations. They have to give you the services, or else you're going to pull your assets away from them. Same thing with the damn government. Stop giving them every damn thing under the sun. They're already out of control.
Way.
Okay, any other questions?
Not
Just
from
not.
me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, this has been very helpful to me, Patrick. Thank you.
Well, just try and put the two of them together, yesterday and the last couple weeks, and everything on these 1099Cs. Think about these things as simple math problems. Okay? If you need help, go get your 5-year-old. Basically, they could probably handle some of this better than you can.
Okay.
Thanks, Patrick.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Patrick, you guys take care. Okay.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tom, you still on?
Yeah, I'm still on. I'm going to be stopping the recording here.
No, don't stop the recording, Tom.
Pardon?
Don't stop because I want to hear what he got to say. It might be important.
Okay.
Did you understand the block 3 on a mortgage?
I think I did.
The way he explained it last night, is you put down the full amount that they're claiming you owe, and then down in block 7, you go to your mortgage and figure out what principal and interest have you paid, and you put that down in block 7.
Okay.
You subtract the 2 and you put that amount in block 3.
All right. You want me to tell you how I understood it, Tom?
Okay.
All right. So my credit card, I have a credit line of $20,000, say, okay?
Yeah, for credit card is different. For credit card,
the credit card's different.
All right.
And that's what I was trying to get him to explain again. I've listened to the call a couple times last night.
I know it's tough.
Hey, I know the answer, man. I know the answer.
What do you have? A mortgage or?
Yeah, I have a mortgage.
Utility.
Yeah, I'm doing a mortgage tomorrow.
Okay.
And I happen to have, because I pulled an administrative procedure with them, I have a full set of the accounting on the account. So I have to go through and add up all the principal and interest.
Yeah, that's
So you're adding up the principal and interest, and you're putting that in line 3 then?
Line 7.
No, hold on for a second.
That's what I paid, because there's another case. He says we can go back for previous property taxes or utility bills, and so what we put for the previous ones is we cancel that debt, and we put down on line 7 what we paid, because they have already gotten paid from the bonds that they wrote on it. We paid that money into them, so we get it back.
Excuse me. I wanted to make a comment on the question he asked about line 3 and 7. The thing is, more than anything, is that if you cancel the debt and you squash the whole situation, what I'm trying to say is, what you care about $10,000 for when you gonna have millions of dollars? Just let that end it and be done with it, and that's all it is to it.
Well, in my case, on my mortgage, I owe $71,000. They say I owe $71,000. I paid an approximately $58,000 in principal and interest.
You're talking about, Tom.
Well, Tom, why didn't you just try to get the $71,000 canceled?
Yeah, I'll be more.
Yeah, I'm going to cancel the $71,000 and ask for the $58,000 back.
So that means you're going to have to cancel 71 plus 58.
No, I put 71 in box 2. I put 58 in box 7. Whatever the difference is between those two, I put that in box 3.
Box 3. Oh, okay. All right. Now, for someone who hasn't paid,
that's the way he explained it last night. Before he had said box 3 was interest, and we couldn't deduct interest. But now he's reinterpreted that as it's for services received.
Services, yeah. Now, for someone who has a mortgage but hasn't paid anything, it was just given to them, like my mom, she can cancel the whole amount because she didn't put any money into it.
Right. Cancel the whole amount. The rest of it.
That one I can understand, but like
that would be 0 in box 3.
Well, no. What it would be is cancel the whole amount. Let's say it's $70,000, and the services received was $70,000. That goes in 3, and so 0 goes down in 7.
Oh, okay. So 73 on the 2. Box 2, 73 on box 3, and 0 is on box 7, so that means it's canceled.
Yes.
Oh,
right.
Okay. All right, got it.
So she's got the house back free and clear.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a reverse mortgage. All right, I'm gonna have to play with this because I really
what
want to do this.
What I was wondering is on a mortgage, say you take out $100,000, but by the time you pay it for 30 years, you paid $300,000.
All right.
Exactly.
So did they only take out $100,000 out of our account, or did they take the $300,000? that was the point that I was trying to
No,
get
they
across.
only took $100,000 out of the account. But
Okay.
they charge you all kinds of interest for doing that.
Right.
And
Plus, at the same time, if you do a 1099A, you can claim that other $20,000 you're talking about.
that may be one way of doing it.
That's abandoned.
And reporting it as fraud. Now the 3949A is not a form that deals anything with our getting the money back. All it's doing is it's reporting a possible crime to the IRS.
Right. That's just a reporting
That's
form.
just a reporting thing. Hey, IRS, there's bad guys over there. Go after them.
You know, that's what they're doing to my mom with the reverse mortgage, because she's not supposed to even look at any payment. It's just part of the contract, and they're sending her like notices about she owes taxes on something, and I'm trying to help her figure it out. So I was just thinking of just doing the C and the 1041 and just getting rid of it all.
Well, you could do a C to get rid of the taxes. He has examples out there to get rid of the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I can get rid of the whole mortgage. Why not, right?
Yes, get rid of the mortgage.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
On yours is a reverse mortgage, so they give you money back. But here we've given them money and interest.
Yes, but on the reverse mortgage, they are still taking credit. I think getting credit out of your account for the value of the house.
You know what they did? They told her when they came and estimated the house, they said, okay, it's worth about $450,000. I don't think it is, but they say that just for their paperwork. But then when she went to get some money, they said, okay, you could only get so much. You can only get $250, right?
Yes,
but they wrote down $450 in the actual mortgage papers when I was reading it.
Okay, because that's probably what they took.
Yep.
What got out of the account, and there's something else going on that Patrick hasn't gotten into.
So then I would do the 450 on that.
Yes, I would do the.
And then the 450 would be on line 2. The 250 is what they gave her. That would be on line 3, and the difference would be in line 7.
Yes.
That would be the 150 that they're trying to claim tax on.
Well, yeah, because she never got it.
And they owe the tax.
Then you could claim it back for her, and you could get that other 150 for her.
No, you could ask for the 150 back, and then with the 3949A report to the IRS that they owe.
I was thinking of doing the 3949 on them. Period.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But you're taking the what we paid in off of the original mortgage.
Yes.
And putting the difference in line 2.
Yes, in box 3.
Line 3, I mean.
Yes.
And subtracting 2 from 3 and 7 is the equal.
That's right. That's how you do that.
Man, I am so dumb when it comes to accountants. It's just like.
Well, I like I said, I just.
Well, it's not so much the accounting part as it's classifying the amounts.
Yeah, the processing.
Right. Yes.
It's so mixed. It's so confusing.
But does anybody know how to get the postal debit card? Because I've inquired at my local post office, and they treated it like I was, I hate to say Ben Otten, but they sent police officers just to inquire to why I was inquiring about that.
Police officers asked you?
Yes. About
are
why
you,
I was trying
are
to
you the guy? Are you the guy that got the 98?
Yes.
And your name is?
Yasharan.
Okay. Are you on our Skype?
Yes, I'm on.
Are you on our Skype group? Are you on our Skype group?
No, I'm not on the Skype group, but I get on every Sunday and Monday. That's about it.
No, could you join our Skype group, which is just purely chat? We don't have scheduled times. We talk all through the week.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that'll
be fun. Just send a Skype request to me, T. Weidler, TWIDLAR. Say you want to be in the group.
I got you, Thomas.
I'll add you to that. We have some questions we'd like to ask you.
All right.
Well, what's your name again?
Yasharon. Yasharon.
Okay.
Hey, Joshua, you never did anything with the 98 number?
No, I've been holding on to it because I didn't know the extent of it so far. Because Patrick always said way before now, just wait because we ain't we hadn't made it to a certain point yet. I mean, I had my 98 for about. Wow.
Yeah, but evidently in the past 2 weeks he realizes the 98 is important again.
Yeah.
You gotta listen to some of this. There is a audio. Is it in the archive, Tom, about this woman who got her 98 and what she did and used it for?
Yeah, I've been listening to that. But the thing about hers is that because the thing how the system goes is that you can get away with a whole lot of stuff at first, but then as the system learns and catch criminals doing things, and I ain't trying to say criminals or nothing, but it learns from past mistakes and it fixes itself.
Right.
Well, she basically said she only used what she needed. She wasn't.
She wasn't being greedy and this, that, and
right.
I remember all of that. But I'm just trying to illustrate. She got hers, back. And I'm just saying this just to be saying something. Back in 1942, you can't do today with 1942. You cannot do it. The system don't work like that.
Okay. The rules change, right?
Yeah, it's always being tweaked and retweaked to.
Yeah, they find out when they figure too many people are figured it out, then they change it.
That's right.
You have to figure it out again.
Yeah, it's always morphing. Yeah, interesting.
Tom, have you looked at your mortgage?
And you can't even.
Pardon?
You can't even do what she tried to do right now.
What did you ask?
I say, have you looked at your mortgage? You said you're trying to discharge it.
Yes. You mean the actual mortgage document itself?
Right.
I need to look at it again. I looked at it a long time ago.
Do this. Look in there, and on mine, they did a sheriff's auction on me. On mine, it says that I borrowed X amount of dollars, and that the borrower promised to pay this debt in regular periodic payments, and to pay the debt in full not later than 2035. So what my question is how can they be doing a sheriff's auction if I have until 2035 to pay the debt off? Not that I want to wait that long.
There's all kinds of fraud going on. That's a whole entirely different issue.
Right,
and that gets into what I was going to bring up, the stuff that Patrick hasn't gotten into, which I've heard about before, and I got a whole lot of information recently. Not only do they lend you the money that they borrowed from you.
Yeah, right. Because you're the creditor.
Yeah, you're the creditor. So they borrowed it from you, and so all they're doing really is they might be able to charge a 5% service fee for having the ability as a financial institution to access your account. That's really all they deserve.
Right.
They don't deserve that amount back plus 3 times that amount in the form of interest over 30 years.
Correct.
Okay, but beyond that, when they borrow the money, as Patrick says, they write bonds against it like crazy. They put them into mortgage-based securities. They've actually sold your mortgage to at least 3 or 5 people out there who don't know that there are 4 other people who own this thing.
Right.
They perhaps they put it into trading in the bank trading programs. In a bank trading,
paragraph a security instrument.
In a bank trading program, they make anywhere between 5% to 50% per month on your program. So they earn far more in terms of trading than anything that they're getting from you in terms of interest, and you get to pay them for that privilege.
Right, I understand all that they're doing that way.
Yeah. Well, we're getting an awful lot of feedback now.
Yeah, it's really bad. Well, I'm going to work on my 56s since we talked about that today.
Yeah, I hope to tomorrow to be able to clean up my 56s, do my mortgage, and also do my lunch money and a utility bill.
Yeah, because before I even attempt to do the 1099-C, I think I have to do the 56 in first. So
well, we doesn't have to go on, but it's just good. I think that was good information we got on the group today. That if you don't get the 56s, they will eventually yank it after a year.
So it's good to just put it in, yeah.
Yeah. So let's just get that in and not have any problem with it.
Are we still doing the UCC for anything, for any purpose?
No.
So
not even down the line or nothing like that?
Nope. Because if you do a 1099B, if you do a 1099B to cash everything out, what do you need a UCC1 for?
And that's exactly right. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't even understand it enough to do that. I just want to learn the simple stuff.
Yeah, all the UCC was doing is really declaring our interest in the driver's license and all those other documents, just saying I'm owed something because of all of this. Yeah, that's nice, but now we have a mechanism to go get that money. We don't need to go around and say I'm owed this. We just go get it.
Right, yes.
I understand.
Let's hope this is it,
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Thomas.
Okay, my other, I answered the question that we've been asking. What other things do we need to send in with it too?
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, we don't need anything else. Just maybe the W-8, he says.
Well, W-8, we need an endorsed document. We need to send in the bill of exchange, which is I went and got the stamps and a blue stamp pad, so I can just stamp all that stuff on the back of each document.
When you endorse the back of the instrument, what do you normally write?
He has sample endorsed. Look in the PEO example files.
Yeah, he has a whole lot of them in it. Thomas.
Yes.
So how do you complete the 1099B in terms of having your 98 series in terms of going in there for your certificate lab birth account? How do you execute that?
He had mentioned that, and it's in a call, but really you can't put amounts in there because you don't know what it is.
Right.
For the 1099B, you're basically asking them to determine what the amount is there and then liquidate. So if anything, I would put in box 2 a liquidated amount. The words.
I got you.
Also, he mentioned that you would make a copy, scan the copy of what you want to liquidate. Don't send it in until they get you the information back.
That's what I feel about the $300 penalty envelopes. Why send them in until I actually get the stuff? I need to ask them that question.
Okay, so I need to make a copy of my birth certificate saying copy of certificate. This is a duplicate copy.
Yes.
And with my 1099B.
Yeah, I've gone and got a little red stamp that says copy.
Yeah, I got a program that can put it on there for me. So
I just got a damn rubber stamp. I just rubber stamp everything.
But see, you don't want to send it in until you know what you're brokering it for.
Pardon?
I say I wouldn't send it in until you know what you're brokering it for.
No, you send in a copy. You don't send in the actual document. That's what he says. You're not supposed to. If you read the bottom of the birth certificate, you're not supposed to duplicate it. Okay?
Yeah.
By stamping copy on it, you're saying this is a duplicate and not to be used.
Right.
So they don't want you to counterfeit it, is what they're really saying.
Yeah.
That's right.
But what's interesting, I just found out, did someone on the group mention this? That when you order a copy of it, they write a whole new set of bonds?
Wow.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, if you order more than 5, then they get really interested in why you want 5. They really, I mean, it's like serious for them.
Okay.
To want to know why you want so many, because they know they hypothecate, the bonds to the moon after they make them. So.
Right.
And they want to know why you know it. Why do you know this?
So now we know why credit card companies are almost giving credit cards away.
That's right.
Because they're just going crazy on all the bonds.
Yeah.
Well, more importantly, you take it a step further. Now you understand why they have wars and why they kill people a lot as well.
Oh well, we knew that all along.
I mean, but to collect all that money off of them accounts after they dead is, wow, man, that's.
Yeah.
Ooh, but anyway.
It's sad what they're doing.
Yeah, they knew that way back in the Roman times.
Oh, see, well, I mean, I'm new to this, so I didn't always know that.
Okay.
Wow.
The Venetian Empire in the 1200s was very good at this.
So but what is the purpose? What's the game? Or what are they trying to accomplish?
Total control.
Right. The gods of Olympus are in charge, and the rest of us are just cattle to be culled and killed.
Total control.
Yeah.
And I mean total.
And in fact,
the air you breathe, the food you eat, everything.
The banking community refers to itself as the Olympians.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see other parallels as well, just by the name itself.
Right.
All right, we'll just keep up on Skype and.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep up on
homework.
Skype. But still, that's a good idea. I think it would help Patrick, and I think it is a good idea as we make progress. Let's put it on his group, and invite people to come in and help us make progress, and then report it to the group.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you think you're going to do your 56s this week or next week?
Oh, I had filled mine out quite a while ago, but I just
you just have to. Yeah, I have to update mine and.
Yeah, I have to correct them.
Yeah,
they're easy enough to correct. I got my confirmation letter out, and then I changed the address at the bottom to the without, and that's all I need to do.
For the 56s, you have to send a confirmation letter?
No, when you get the confirmation letter, you get a confirmation letter when you get an EIN.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, and on that confirmation letter it says, "This is the address. This is how we have it in our system."
Yeah, I know.
Whenever you write to us, it has to be exactly this way.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly that way is what you put on the first 3 lines of the 56.
Yeah, I got that. I put that in my head. It's engraved.
Okay,
cool. Yeah, cool.
So you go get your EIN number first and then do the 56?
Yes, you have to have the EIN number, and you can just call up and get that.
Did you get one?
Is the number posted on the site? To call on that for the EIN number?
It's the SS4 you have to fill out and send it in, or you can do it online. And there's a format that you can look at and play around with.
Mm-hmm. But you said you can call in and get it?
Yeah,
they gave me a hard time.
Yeah, I talked to. Well, I tried to call in for the 98 for the SS4. Yes, I just filled out the SS4 and sent it in. However, when you do that, it takes 10 days to get the number. If you do it online or call it in, you get it all the time. I just talked to a friend of mine who's an accountant. He says he gets EIN numbers all the time, and it's easy to just call in and get them.
You mean online or calling?
Calling. He's used to calling and getting them. He will get them for his clients.
You know what number he's calling, Tom?
I'd have to ask him.
I filled out an SS4 form and faxed it in, and they wanted to get a deceased death certificate, so it's probably better to call in.
I did mine online, and it was easy.
Yeah.
But I had to pay $128.
Yeah, plus if you get a call saying they want something extra or they're not going to give it to you, then you did something wrong.
No, I did SS4 and I got it right away. No sweat.
No, I'm just saying for anybody else that they did say they needed something else or something, anything other than them giving you that number, that means you did something wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried that when I faxed it in, and they asked me. They said, "Well, redo this number and that number," and I said, "You know what? I tried 3 times. I just did it online."
Okay.
Yeah, but get it. The EIN is the big start, the big push.
Yeah, that's it. Once you get the EIN, you can really start getting money right away.
And then we can call up and argue with them to get the foreign granted trust.
Right.
Hey Tom, can I ask you a question about the ID cards?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't know much about it. I have to go look at it myself.
What is it called? The green card or something? But
I'm talking about the makeup cards that Patrick posted.
Oh, the visitor card.
Yeah.
Oh, the visitors.
Yeah, you just have to have a 98 number to do that.
Not an EIN? You have to have a 98?
You have to have a 98 number to do that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, when he originally said you could do it with or without, but when I asked him a few days ago, he said, no, you need the 98.
And you don't need a picture or nothing in there or nothing, just
No. Actually, what he recommends is that the card in there. He says, you know, when you go to a convention or something, they give you a little plastic badge that you put on your pocket.
Yeah.
And they slip a card in there. He says just go get some Avery business cards paper.
Yeah, they have them in the 99-cent store.
Yeah, they have them in the 99-cent store. And Avery has a free program called Business Pro, and it will let you make up cards.
So the 98 number, which is a chancellor, is why you're saying that you can be a visitor.
Yeah. I guess that's my chancellor number, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from him on that.
Right.
Yes,
that was a much better explanation of the 3 levels tonight. I like that.
Well, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
I have a question about the files. You were saying in the file there's a PEO file and then I was also looking samples for endorsements are in the PEO file on the site, and I don't see a PEO file.
Well, no, it's a directory. Go in the American Tax Collector directory.
Look for a zip file and you'll find it.
Well, yeah. Look for a zip file, and when you unzip it, it'll ask you where to put it. I just put it in a folder with the same name as the zip file.
I'm on that site now, and I don't see anything that says PEO.
Well, I'm trying to bring up.
Go into the tax collector one, and it's towards the bottom.
This is just.
PEO submittal examples. Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Now, would that be where the samples of how you're supposed to fill out the Form 56?
Right.
Well,
No, just the 1099s.
Where would I find a sample of a Form 56 so I would know how to fill it out?
Are you on the Skype group? Because I can copy that.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
all right,
I am.
Let me find it, and I'll copy it for you.
Yeah, because that was quite a ways back that he did the 56.
Oh, okay.
So is there a 56 and a 56F, or just a 56?
No, 56 and 56F.
It is in the file, though?
Yeah, I don't think it's actually up on the...
You said 56F had to go to Austin.
Right. I don't think the 56s are up on the Yahoo group. He's deleted a bunch of stuff and it's not there. However, I have it over on the e-concurrence site. I have files going back for about 2 years. But probably the best idea is get to the Skype group and we can send it. Gita, you'll send it. Put it on the Skype.
I actually have it. I have a copy too, but I'll post it on the Skype group in a few minutes.
Okay.
The problem I have is I don't have Skype.
It's free.
But I don't have computer time. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
You've been a bad boy, huh? No computer time. All right.
I just don't have readily access to it.
Oh. Do you have a fax machine?
Or why don't you give us your email?
I can give you an email.
Do you want me to do it, Tom? Or
yeah. Why don't you get them the 56?
All right. Hold on. What's your email?
MCRHEALM@juno.com.
GENERAL general.com.
No.
Juno.
Juno.
Like
Juno.
the goddess.
JUNO.
Right.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Okay, hold on. Let me repeat that. MCRHEALM@juno.com.
There you go.
All right, I'll get the documents and I'll email it to you. What's so that's Mar? How do you pronounce that? Is that your first name?
No, my first name is Marshall.
Okay. Oh, right, Marshall. Okay. All right, I'll do that for you.
The initials stand for something else, not my name.
That's okay. No problem.
Yeah. Sometime, if you want to share your phone number, I can, call you and fill you in on what all that.
Yeah, we can have a party. Right.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to have a party after all of this crap is finished.
Yes, that's right. I want to go over to Patrick's house and throw a real party for him.
Me too.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, thanks for helping with that, Gita.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Night.
Okay.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys. I'll turn them off now here.
Okay.
Yep.
Good night.